About a very unique way that you can build not only a robust real estate sales business, but also have a business that gives you additional streams of income that are tied all around the luxury rental market. I'm excited to air this show today. It's going to be an amazing episode with some amazing people. Stay with us, guys. It's going to be an awesome episode. The big question is this: how do those of us in the real estate industry with crazy amounts of ambition, how do we think bigger than the building of our own empires? How do we simultaneously seek success and significance, income and impact? My name is Justin Stoddart, and this is the Think Bigger Real Estate Show. All right, and welcome back, guys, to the Think Bigger Real Estate Show. I'm your host, Justin Stoddart. Today, again, we are going to talk about how you can create multiple streams of income inside this amazing real estate industry at a time that you're probably looking for that. You're probably looking for additional ways to diversify your income. I have a solution for you, especially if you love the great state of Florida, which I do. And we're going to be talking about it very specifically today with some great people. Let me introduce them. Darryl and Sonia Jenkins out of Orlando, Florida. I've known Sonia for a long time, one of the sweetest, most amazing people to ever meet. And just now getting to know also her awesome husband, Darryl. You too, thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you for having us.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. So Sonia, you and I knew each other back in the Portland market, which is where I'm at. And I knew you were just an agent absolutely killing it with your amazing mind and you just getting out and hustling and doing the work. And now I know that you moved to Florida, a little sunnier place, and have built a very unique business model, really a franchise opportunity for agents that either are in Florida or would love to be in Florida and potentially other places around the country. We'll get to that. But let's dive into really quickly. Walk us through your unique business model and all the different ways in which income can come to agents through that model. If you wouldn't mind, just kick us off. Let's get right into it.
Okay. So, well, first of all, we moved to Florida only 4 years ago, and we had to get an E2 visa. So obviously we're British, so we had to get an E2 visa. In order to do that, we had to spend an awful lot of money in order to get an entrepreneurial visa. So when we came here and we thought we were going to start a real estate sales only business. And we sort of fell into property management.
So both of our background is in real estate. We've both been doing it for 25 years each. And we decided that there would be a great opportunity for us to do just that in Florida. So we started our own brokerage here and we started marketing to overseas owners of property here in Florida first, because that made sense because we were from overseas. So we guessed there would be some kind of connection. And a lot of the people that we started talking to that got in contact with us said, well, actually, we don't really want to sell. We bought the home as a second home, but we're having such a bad experience with our existing management company. We don't know what to do about that. Would you manage it? And at first we were sort of quite reluctant because obviously real estate sales is our expertise area. But in the end, we decided to give it a go because we saw the opportunity for a more consistent income. Obviously, we all know in the sales pattern cycle of real estate, the market goes up and down, and so does an agent's prospects and income. So we saw the opportunity for a more consistent income through property management.
And of course, then once you've got the management contracts, those clients are going to use you for all their real estate needs, including selling. So it's a really good way to guarantee that your sales business is going to do well as well.
So just as an example of how that might work, like other agents maybe in the US, we bought some leads from Zillow, from what was the other one, Home Agent, but we targeted specifically zip codes in areas where we knew vacation homes were being sold. And a lot of buyers would come to us and say, I'd be really interested in buying a second investment home in Orlando. Would you help me with that? So of course we would. And then as soon as the sale is closed, we start management for them as well. 2 or 3 years down the road, they want to upgrade to a new sort of swankier model, or the kids have had enough of coming to Florida, so they decide to sell. And of course, we get the sale or the purchase, second, third, fourth time round. And a lot of those properties that we've been selling or acquiring for clients, we've been managing all the way through. So even though the ownership has changed, our management contract hasn't.
Yeah.
What a beautiful model. Really, you guys have niched down, for anybody that's listening right now, the benefit of finding a niche that you want to serve, right? What you guys have. You said, okay, we're going to find people, number one, that we love serving because we're in an area we think everybody should visit, right?
Yeah.
And you've identified that we want investors, right? People who are coming and buying a property and they're then renting that out, short-term rental, for people that come in and want to stay in these highly desirable places, right? And then at that point, you have the ability to sell the property, which again, this model now I now understand how you can have two very successful businesses because they both feed each other, right? You have a sales business where you have people moving in, buying a property, selling, upgrading to another one, which is why your sales business is in the top 5% in your MLS, right?
Mhm.
And all the while you're building out this additional stream of income. At least we've talked about one, right?
Yeah.
You know, what I want to hear is some of these other ancillary income streams that have come to you by being in the real estate game in the way that you are.
So we do. We will help people to fix up properties. We'll help with that whole sort of facelift. Oh, you want this bedroom themed? We can take care of it. You want the whole house renovated? We'll take care of it. We have maintenance team. We have all sorts of contractors on staff. We do our own pest control. We have a swimming pool company, so we do all of our own pool maintenance, weekly pool maintenance. What else do we do?
The biggest one is cleaning.
Cleaning.
So every time someone stays in one of these properties, needs cleaning. So the cleaning fee gets charged to the guest. We've now got a team of about 50 cleaners and a whole group of supervisors that run that too. So we run a cleaning business, a pest control business, a swimming pool business, and a subsidiary sort of contractor business all alongside each other.
Yeah.
So here's the reason why I love this personality, you guys. If you haven't read my book, The Upstream Model, the Upstream Model teaches is that there is somebody upstream from a real estate transaction who has the ability to send you a lot of business. One person, you're courting one person that opens up the door to a lot of clients. And what I hear what you guys have done is you are that one person. You've actually have gone upstream and actually kind of controlled the flow of these essential services that these homes are going to need. And now you get paid not just on the sale of the property and the management fee, but also all the other things that home is going to need. You're also at the center of that, to where number one, you can count on very predictable, high level value service, right? Because you guys control it. And at the same time, you're making income off of that. Like, it's absolutely beautiful. I love it.
Well, that's another reason we, apart from sort of financially, another reason why we look to bring all these services in-house is you're absolutely right.
Have control.
We can have control over the quality.
Yeah.
So, we can control the whole thing.
Yeah.
So so, I mean, think about it, in 4 years, right? 4 short years with, as you mentioned, some of the challenges of you guys had to get like entrepreneur visas, like the typical agent would not need to go through what you guys went through to get set up. That was really you building the entire foundation, to which other people can say, foundation's built. Let's come in and like erect this house on top of this foundation you've already built. Right? I mean, it's already in place for people to step in and be moving very quickly. And again, not just a sales business, as you described, Darryl, that can be up and then can be down, but one that you're able to kind of cut off some of those valleys and level them out to where you have income coming in from multiple different sides, which is great. So my point in that is that if to think what you guys have built in 4 short years, really somebody could be stepping in a matter of months or a year, really have a business that's up and hopping when it comes to not just one business, but multiple businesses. Is that safe to say? Is that accurate to say?
Yeah. So the franchise, we offer franchising. So people can open a Orange Vacation Homes franchise with us. They would have their own sales as well. So we would expect them to get a real estate license if they don't already have one. We're our own brokerage, so we'll be their broker if they need us to. But what we're offering is, so we get people, for example, right now we have 2 really good opportunities. One in Destin, which is a just glorious part of Florida, isn't it? On the beach. We have homes in Destin that are ready to be managed by somebody. Geographically, we're in Orlando, so we're some distance away from there. So Destin is an area that we've sort of ring fenced for a franchise opportunity for somebody. And then another, we already have somebody in a certain area of Tampa, but we have a secondary area of Tampa that's ready for somebody to come in and manage. So they would literally jump in. We'll help them with the marketing. We'll teach them everything we know. We'll mentor them, and they'll have those contracts in place. And over time, they will build the exact same business that we already have.
Yeah, and I'll just add to that. What you said is absolutely right. So, and I suppose we're just looking at it in a different way. In real estate, when you're an agent, getting going is quite tough, right?
Yeah.
And staying going is quite tough.
Yeah.
Building that momentum. So we're sort of looking at it in a slightly different way. We're saying, look, let's not go after necessarily the people that are, looking to sell or buy straight away. Let's go after the people that are looking to have management contracts.
Mm-hmm.
So we're getting those people, and then by providing them with a great service, we're getting the rest of their real estate business too.
Yeah.
And you probably, I would imagine, with as many people that are moving to Florida as there are, as well as people that just want to invest down there, want to have a investment property that maybe they use part of the year and that they rent out the other part of the year. Like, it really creates an amazing opportunity for people to reallocate maybe some of those funds that have dropped so significantly from the stock market. It's like you have this endless stream of potential buyers who want to be in your area, and it's a matter of finding them the properties, right?
Yeah, we don't think that's changing anytime soon. You're right. There are so many people moving here, even after the sort of the COVID bounce has ended. There are still a lot of people moving to Florida. There's a lot. It's not just tourism here. There's a lot of investment technology companies and health companies that are moving and relocating to Orlando. So we think it's still going to be a real big area of growth for the US.
And then our proposition is very strong, because when somebody comes to talk to us about an investment here, we can say, right, this is what your income's going to be. We know this because we manage 10 other homes in that community. So this is what your income's going to be. This is what your expenses are going to be. Here are some beautiful homes that we already manage. Take a look at these. We are going to take care of you. And this is going to be a great investment for you, investment vehicle for you. And oftentimes those same people buy 2 or 3 or 4 homes. We have owners that have 4 homes.
Yeah.
And these agents that are stepping into your world to help support this growing business model, right? They have the ability, I'm sure, not just to learn from you the real estate side and finding the buyer's side, but the side of, okay, now how do we create our own pool company, right? How do we create it? Like, they themselves can start to do what you guys have done to some degree of like, let's take some of this in-house and build out, whether they partner with you guys in that venture or whether they go create their own.
Yeah.
But now they have a legitimate business, right? Outside of the business.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the thing that we love the most is being able to change our people's lives, not just the people that we work for, but people within our team. I mean, we've been able to really change people's lives with giving them amazing careers, which they're working hard within and growing their skill set. But we've really been able to do that, haven't we?
Yeah, it's more than we hoped for.
Ever dreamed of. Yeah.
So what does it look like from here? I know that those of us outside of Florida, right, are contemplating how we might be involved with some level, at some level with you. But what about potential opportunities outside of Florida? I know that's on the table at some point. Would you say if anybody has interest in saying, we could really do that in our area and we'd love to partner up, I would imagine it'd just be entering into a conversation with you at that point, right?
Totally.
Yeah, we know there are other great areas that all across the US where this would work. But we're just sort of taking it one step at a time up till now with franchising in Florida, because it's easy with our broker licenses. It gets more complicated in other states, but it is doable. So yeah, if anyone else has got an idea, we're always open to those.
I mean, we have spoken to somebody that was interested in Vegas, somebody in Colorado, and somebody in Oregon. I mean, I used to work as an agent in Oregon, as you know. So we're familiar with some of the markets. And we would totally love to talk to anybody that wants to do something amazing. Yeah.
I think something that would be interesting to learn from you guys outside of your model is the fact that, again, I'm sure a lot of blood, sweat, and tears went into getting it to this point, right? We'd love to learn from you, because I know there's a lot of agents out there that would just learn to love or would love to learn from entrepreneurial minds like you. that I'm sure there were certain roadblocks and challenges that came up as you were building this, right? Maybe what was one or two of those, and how did you overcome it? Because I think regardless of whether or not this model fits the listeners, I think the principles that you learned in seeing past the obstacle, seeing past the challenge will benefit everybody that's listening. Does anything come to mind? Could be a specific experience or just generally speaking, how did you get through some of those obstacles that maybe tempted you even at times to be like, I don't know if we can do this. I don't know if this is worth it, right?
I don't know if I have a specific example, because we come across them every day, every week, where we have a lot of growth. and it's tough, it can be tough. But before we even came here, we put together our dream life, our vision board, and what was on there was what they tell you in some of these training courses. Now, don't put the beach in Florida, in some of these workshops that you go to. But we put the beach in Florida. We were like, we want this dream life. We want to be our own bosses. We want to be able to create this amazing business. And we just allowed ourselves to dream. And then once you've got the dream and you're together on it, it's really just a question of taking the first step. You don't have to, they always say you don't have to see the whole mountain. You've just got to take those baby steps, and before you know it, you're climbing the mountain. And then we haven't let anything make us feel like that's not possible. So, swimming pool company, yeah, what's the requirement for that? Oh, we need licensing. Let's do it. Let's find somebody that can help us do it. Let's do it. And so we just kept adding. Would you say that was
true?
Yeah,
that is true. I think the biggest challenge, if I was to answer that, would be scaling the business.
Yeah.
So, how do you scale a business when it's growing so quickly? And that's been, I think, the biggest learning curve for me during that time. And I think that's the area that we can really help with franchisors who come and work with us, who haven't had that experience. We've sort of done that part of it. And that's the hardest part, knowing when to hire someone, knowing when to take a risk, knowing when not to, that's really what we've learned.
And we would mentor other people through that, if they're working with us, that's totally what we're going to be there to do.
I love it. So for you guys, really, it was once you got clear on the vision and you were both committed to it, you both said, yes, this is what we're going to do. I'm sure once you started to work through the initial challenge of, okay, it's time to scale, we need to hire somebody. Then all of a sudden you realize that there's a certain formula. Okay, once we get to a certain point, right, and the activities from this business are starting to interfere with our core thing, our one thing, it's time to hire somebody or it's time to partner. And once you've done that once, then it's like, okay, we can apply that formula to the pest control business. Okay, we can apply that formula to the pool business. Okay, we can apply that formula to the cleaning business, right? It's like, go find key people that can help take this off our plate, and now we can really entrust them to do that. Is that a safe way to maybe kind of add to your answer there?
That's exactly right.
And each time we knew, okay, we need to get to so many properties before we can hire that next key person, so that is going to at least pay for itself.
Yeah. We followed a lot of what Gary Keller teaches.
Yeah, we love Gary Keller.
We're both ex-Keller Williams people. So, but in fairness, we did follow a lot of what he teaches.
Yeah.
Leading with revenue, all of those things that are in the books.
Yeah.
It's tough to argue, even if you are at a different brokerage, it's tough to argue that he is maybe the godfather of residential real estate, right? When it comes to really kind of teaching and leading the industry. So I've got a ton of respect for Gary. I love it, you guys. Such great insight. What a great model, especially at a time where agents are saying, do I really want to go through these ups and downs of a real estate market where my only income is tied to how much I can buy or sell, right? Or how much I can help people buy or sell. Like, how nice would it be to be able to have another stream of income that paid for everything, and your sales business just became icing on the cake?
Yeah,
right? I think
that's exactly the model that we set out to achieve, where the management business paid for our life. Yeah. And the sales revenue is our vacations and our investment in our future.
Yeah.
And you've got all these beautiful vacation properties to go use when you're ready for that.
Yeah.
I love you guys. All right. One final question, which is this. You're obviously big thinkers, right? That's why you're invited to come on the show. Not only that, but you're just lovely people as well.
Oh, thank you.
But what do you do to continue to grow yourself, right? To continue to kind of lift the ceiling of your current possibilities and experience kind of bigger ideas, bigger growth. What does that look like? How do you guys do that?
So we've been talking about this a lot lately, haven't we?
Yeah,
I think, yeah, go on.
We always reset. We reset quite often. So we'll talk about where we are and take stock of that, and then where we want to go next. So we do that a lot, so that we're constantly moving the goalpost, moving the benchmark higher and further forward. So we're always resetting and looking about where we're going next. We have I guess we have an end goal for where we know we want to get to. So it's easy for us to measure against our progress against that.
I love it. So an ultimate goal of, okay, this is what we want life to look like, and the funding that we would need to make it that way, right?
Right.
And then you're incrementally working your way up, moving those milestones as you keep your eye, everything in alignment with that bigger goal. I love it. It's a great way to live. You guys, it's been such a pleasure to spend some time with you here. Let me ask this question. How do people get in contact with you? Like, what's the best way for them to open up a conversation about whether it be business in Florida or business elsewhere? What does that look like?
They can reach out to us via Facebook. We have a million Facebook pages. They can call me. My phone number is 321-525-3505. Or email Sonia at orangerealty.pro.
I love it. I love it. All right, you guys, thank you so much for being here. And for everybody listening in today, let me remind you that the ideal life that you want is out there, and you can go get it. This industry can help you to get it. And when you surround yourself with bright minds, big thinkers like Darryl and Sonia, it only gets that much more attainable. So thank you both so much for contributing so much. And to everybody listening here today, my final request is this. 3 simple words, you know what they are, and they are go think bigger. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.
Be honest, hearing good ideas is not enough. You have to apply them in order to get the results desired. If you found value in today's episode, then you're really going to love the community of big thinkers and high achievers that we are building in order to help you to apply the principles taught today. If you're not yet a member of Think Bigger Real Estate on Facebook, go sign up now.